I'm here with Ian. He's the game developer, producer of Pit People and with Behemoth. So if you want to give a little background on Pit People and, what's the many roles you have here.
Wait, Pit People or me first? Or
Whichever one.
My name's Ian Moreno, and I've been working at the Behemoth for like 6 or 7 years now. I'm like a production producer, generalist / music supervisor, writer, audio wrangler, maker, scripter, cat herder. You said that. That's a good one. I have cats. Yeah, and a little VO action with the Yosef character as well. Anyway, but Pit People is our new game, our 4th game, and it's a fast-paced, turn-based co-op adventure through time and space. But I'll get more I'll talk more about that a little later. It's our take on the, I guess you could say, the turn-based or strategy falling under the strategy genre. We wanted to make a game, a strategy-type game that maybe non-strategy players would pick up and play. So, as you just saw, it's like a very stripped down. We ripped out a lot of the minutia that you find in games like that and kind of streamlined it so make it more accessible, kind of like some of our past games, which are all different genres as well. So yeah. And there's a whole bunch of story stuff as well. I don't know how much to talk about that.
Awesome. So I did play a little bit. I've never played Pit People before, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I'm actually a really huge tactics fan, so that's kind of what, I'm really used to things like ogre tactics and things like that, where it's a turn-based and you move around the screen, and then but then you have all of these spells and things to choose from. So like you said, this is very stripped-down version. So, why did you decide to go this like strategy tactics route?
It was weird. It's again, like, with every game we do tackle a new genre, but it wasn't like, this one was picked out of the hat. I mean, we're all fans of turn-based games, of tacticals, and even like in a lot of RTS players in the house. But with this one, it really started with some basic concepts with Dan Paladin. Right after we launched Battle Block Theater, which was like less than 3 years ago. Dan started sketching and we were toying around with concepts, I guess. And he showed me this one paper, this one sketch he drew, and he just like walks over and is like, and it's like this drawing of this pit kind of thing, like pit arena thing, and then there's like 4, like maybe at that time like 4 characters drawn, and then this little simple UI of like fight and like defend or something. Or stop or whatever. It's like, what if we had a team-based, like it's a team thing where you kind of just push a button and they just kind of do stuff. And so that was the first kind of concept. When we started playing with it and like prototyping, turn-based just came naturally because we were just trying to figure out what gameplay was. We're like, well, it's easier to just like have this team do it than make something where they just go at the same time. So we had this turn-based prototype, and we all just fell in love with it, and it was like, okay, this is right. This is the direction we're going, and then from there, it's always just like, it always at the very basis had, like what I said, the stripped down and simplicity, where we ripped out that minutia or didn't go that way. But that's not to say it's not there. That there is deeper strategy for those who want to find it and get into it. Yeah.
And so I played the single-player mode, but there's also a 2-player mode. So is that like a PvP kind of deal, or is it a co-op?
So it's, for the story, it's single-player or co-op, local, couch co-op, and online. So you're both controlling 2 different teams. And then there's also going to be 1v1 battle mode stuff, and 2v2 online as well. So you get up to 4 players. Yeah.
Cool. So, you were talking a little bit about the story. It's going through time, you said. So right now, like when I started, there's like this bear that fell to earth or whatever. And what's that all about?
Okay, so if you've played Battle Block Theater, I don't want to spoil anything. There's a direct kind of correlation right there that I'll just kind of tease in regards to this event with a bear, this celestial cosmic being hitting the planet and changing kind of time and space, and obviously, or you'll see like its blood is in the atmosphere and raining down. And so that's this event that happens that then kind of spawns all these creatures that you'll see, which are all like fighters that you can that you encounter and play with, and can recruit as well. So that's all tweaking this world and making it weird. And that's when we come across the first hero character, Horatio, who's the humble blueberry farmer who's one day this tragic events happen where his son Hansel is smashed in the house as some raider people, some wanderers, I guess, are raiding his farm. And then, sorry, I lost myself. And then we meet Pipistrella. I think you met her, who's the princess seeking revenge. And then later you meet Yosef, the Demiclops, and Sophia as well. And so there's all these kind of disparate characters who all have experienced some kind of like tragic event. But as we'll learn, is more tied together than initially it seems. So they band together as they meet, and they go on a grand adventure, kind of an Odyssean adventure, if you will.
And so there looks to be a lot of different characters that you can have in your group. So the last one I got was the cupcake, gluten cupcake. And so how many different characters are there?
There's a bunch. We're not releasing numbers because we're still kind of revealing, but we've revealed like, what are we up to now? Like 8 to 10 or something we revealed on our blog. And they span. There's like a vampire that has like bonus when like a fighter is bleeding and can actually fly longer distances. The cupcake is a healing unit, of course, whose health depletes as the cupcake gives health, heals others. There's been a robot who's able to teleport and stun with electricity. What else do we have? There's a bunch, yeah, and we're still releasing more. Oh, there's a hair troll, which is kind of reminiscent, harkens back to the Castle Crashers troll mom, and that fighter can like heal every turn, really kind of tanky. And yeah, I think we have a Cyclops in there, who's kind of like a giant tank fighter.
So one of the problems that I think happens with a lot of tactical games is when you get these characters later on, they're lower level than your main team, like the A team basically. So how are you planning to like work with that to get these players to try out all of these different characters?
Well, yeah, I mean that's an interesting one. Right now, as you probably saw, like the most versatile are going to be the humans and your base and your core, the core story team, because you could change out their like armor or their helmets and shields and weapons, from swords to throwing axes to Uzis to bows, and those have different like light, medium, heavy. With the other guys, it's weird because they're just very unique, and what we find is people get really attached to them. Like obviously, the cupcake healer comes in early, and it's an interesting. We're finding the strategy with versus is that a lot of people like to bring the cupcake, but right now you could go out immediately after the tutorial kind of story arc. You can go out and start recruiting these guys. You don't have to continue in the linear path of the story. You could take a break and go do some side bonus missions and rebuild your whole other team. So the other guys do get a little bit of head start, but not by that much. So you could see there and go, oh yeah, I like Yosef and Pipistrella, but I'm going to take out these ones and like start working with them for a while, get them ready, and then continue on. But you always got to have some of the main characters in there in the active roster for certain story quests to be available.
And so these training grounds, that's basically like the pit where you can level them up.
Yeah. So you could take them, go to the pit, and win some spoils and level them up. Or well, it's a little different. Well, yeah, yes and no, because there's like PvP stuff, which you kind of make that even playing field, and then there's some other pit type antics where you could do that, and as well as the side quests.
And then so there's a lot of things going on in here. So there's like a level up system. There's also a house, it seems like. So can you buy other houses? How do all of these different like setup work?
I wish you could get other houses. That'd be pretty funny. It's like the residents at the lofts that pit people, but it's like it's your one house you get in the beginning of the game, and that's where you keep all your fighters that you recruit. So you could have a big trove of them, and then keep changing out your active roster. But that's basically like your customization interface, where you customize and trick out all your team and make them look, I want all pirates today, like do stuff like that, silly stuff like that. Yeah, but one house.
And then for the level up system, so what I noticed was that you just level up, and then where do these stats go? How are they assigned?
Yeah, so we don't show too much, but it's general. You're going to get more health, you're going to get more like attack and defense and stuff like that. But which more importantly, well, not more importantly, another, I guess, byproduct of it is when you do level up, your health gets regenerated, which becomes helpful in these like kind of like clutch moments and during a fight.
And then so there's also different weapons and armor that you can get. So is it, the humans are the ones that can change out the weapons, it seems like. And so are they limited to what they can wear, what they can use?
Yes and no. The humans can change all that out, and we have a bunch of silly stuff like, like a floppy disk shield, mugs of coffee, there's throwing coconuts, but with all the other creature fighters, we do let you customize aspects of them as well. So if you have the robot, you could change the robot head out. You go 80s robot, future robot, or what's another good example? With the cupcake, you could pick frosting color, and other you could have a mint leaf or like a ninja star and stuff like that. So there's you still get to give flavor, no pun intended, to those fighters as well, to those creatures as well.
So going back to you and the team, it seems like you do a lot. So how large is this team?
The teams, it's weird. The Behemoth as a whole is about 20. I think our number is like 23. But we also we split the company, or we have this kind of. It's part of the Behemoth, but it's also not called the Research Center, and they do testing for a lot of other like indie devs and indie publishers. So there's a team that's actually in another building, and they do test. So then once you remove that number, then the development team is we're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then including Stamper, 9, about 10 for core development team. That's like level designers, artists, 2 artists, and a couple producers like yourself, the voice actors, William Stamper from Vladivostok Theater. Yeah.
And so you said this was a new game. Is this already released? Is this going to be out sometime soon, or?
So no release date. But I can't say that we're going to have a closed beta. We just announced our closed beta like a week or 2 ago, or a little earlier than that, but that we're going to have it later this year. We're doing early signups here at PAX, and then after PAX is done, we're going to open up to the masses. So we're going to get to that closed beta later this year. Once we're done with the beta, we'll have a better picture of where we're at, and then figure out the release window from there. We just want to have the smoothest, with all the online elements and battles and stuff. Yeah.
And where can people sign up for the betas?
Pitpeople.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.